And as usual, much of what we give in international sports is what is happening in European football. You talk about UEFA Champions League updates, you talk about UEFA Europa League, and also the last born of European football. I'm talking about Europa Conference League, not forgetting about all the top European leagues. And I can confirm to you the domestic leagues are bouncing back tonight. I'm talking about the top 5 European leagues. You talk about English Premier League, you talk about Spanish Primera Division, German Bundesliga, French League 1, Italian Serie A. I want to confirm to you these games are bouncing back tonight. And we'll be doing it systematically. As I said, we commence with the local scenes. And the other time, 2 days ago, I was giving you the draws of the round of 32 of Stanbic Uganda Cup. And I can confirm to you, yesterday, the fixtures were released, and you can stay updated with when your team, of course, is going to play. We did say some of the teams we have in Western region, they still continue to perform very well as far as this edition of Stanbic Uganda Cup is concerned. The likes of Das Kluva Rainbow, you talk about Total, that side of Jumbe DFA, not forgetting about Odamataku Central, so many of them, and also the team that comes from Greater Nibi region, particularly from Pakwati district. I'm talking about Pakwati youngsters. Last season, they went up to the quarterfinals, and this time they still continue to perform very well. And I will be in position to give you, of course, when they will be playing their games. Not only that one, updates about the ball game 1 of secondary schools. You also need to know something about that, because we are only left with a month plus some few weeks for the commencement of school ball games. I'm talking about football plus the other activities, the likes of Mvara Senior Secondary School, St. Joseph's College, Ombati Senior Secondary School, not forgetting about RSS, many more. Not only the schools we have within DAS, not only the schools we have within Arua City, we are talking about the entire schools we have in West Nile region. Of course, someone will want to know how the preparation is going on. Also, leaving that one there, StarTimes Uganda Premier League, the top tier of Ugandan football, is still going on. And a day ago, we had a very big derby. It was between Net Football Club and KC. And someone will want to know how, of course, that encounter ended. And I can confirm to you, the pressure still keeps on piling on the teams that are giants we have in Ugandan football, the likes of Vipers. You talk about KC. Also, leaving that one there, yesterday, we did see so many games in UEFA Europa League. You talk about that's Europa Conference, the likes of Real Betis were playing. You talk about Galatasaray, not forgetting about Real Sociedad. Yesterday, they were all in action. And I also been person to give you how those games ended, plus some of the breaking stories here and there. And injuries keeps on hitting some of the players for the giant teams. We talk of Arsenal, we talk about Manchester City, we talk about the team of Chelsea, and also recently we did see the team of Manchester United losing Martinez out injured. And I can confirm to you, these giant teams, some of them have confirmed so many casualties in their teams. How long these players are going to be out for these teams, you need to stay next to your screen. The channel, of course, will have to be that one of West Nile Television. And we will finalize everything with some of the transfer rumors and gossips. As I said earlier on, I want us to move systematically. And we start with some of the updates that are coming from ball games. When we talk about ball games, I'm actually talking about secondary schools football. And these ball games of late have been split into two. We have got ball game 1 and ball game 2. In ball game 1, we only have football, and in most cases, not in most cases rather, and it normally take place in first term. Then ball game 2 takes place in that's the second term. In ball game, we only have football, both for boys and girls. Meanwhile, in ball game 2, that's in second term. That's when you will see the likes of that's the ball games like netball. You talk about basketball, volleyball, bouncing back, and this term is specifically for football, both for boys and also the girls. And I want to confirm to you, some of the schools have already commenced with their training. The likes of our public senior secondary school. You talk about the champions in the senior secondary school. They have also commenced with their training. They started their training on Tuesday. That's in the senior secondary school for you. And the St. Joseph's College on Batsi, very soon they are also commencing with their training. And these trainings normally start with the the usual trainings before these classes go for interclass competitions. That's where each school will get to get the best players to represent the schools when it comes to the district competition as at regional competition. And I also want to confirm to you, this time the regional competition shall be hosted by Maratsa district. This is the latest update. I need to also tell to you as a viewer, you talk about USSSA, the regional shall be hosted by Maratsa district. Last season it was hosted by Koboko district. The other season it was hosted by Ajuman district, and in 2022 it was hosted by Greater Alu region. So schools right now, they have started the preparation. When it comes to the district level, whereas at the city level, we only have in one city in that's Western region, that's Aru City. The intercity ball games will take place that's in March, and also for the districts, just the same, they will also take place in that's March. After that, early that's April is when you will see the regional competition. Just after that, towards the end of that April, that's when you will see schools that are going to excel very well at the district level, or as at the city level, and also at the regional level, representing their schools as their districts at the national level there. Last season, we did see the likes of Varesine Secondary School. You talk about a school that Paida SS that comes from Zombo district, all going for the nationals, but it did not end so well for them, and we are waiting to see how things are going to transpire as far as this season is concerned. Let's leave that one there, and we talk about the fixers of the round of 32 of Stanbic Uganda Cup. I did say earlier on, 2 days ago, I did give you the draws, and this time I want to give you the days when, of course, these games are going to be played, and you need to keep it in your brain when, of course, your team is going to play. Like I said earlier on, in Western region, we still have other teams like Pakwati Youngsters or the Mataku Central, Total FC, not forgetting about Kuluva Rainbow, that are going to be in actions. As far as the round of 32 of Stanbic Uganda Cup is concerned. For Kuluva Rainbow, they have been pitted against Kasasiro Boys, that's KCF for you. Meanwhile, for Total, they have a date up against Express. For Pakwatsi Youngsters, they have been pitted against a team from StarTimes Uganda Premier League, that's UPDF for you. And for Total, they are going to have a date with a team called Das Express. Let's now look at when these games are going to be played, and these games are actually commencing on 19th. 19th will be actual on Wednesday. Next week is when these games are going to commence, and on Wednesday is when Simba Football Club will be tussling it out with Sports Club Villa, and Simba is actually the home side. The same day is when the team Buhimba that's Saints Football Club will be traveling away to Rinzori Lions Football Club. And still on the 19th of this particular month is when you will expect a game between Total Football Club and Express. This is a team, as I had said earlier on, from Western region, and their game will be on 19th. That's next week. 19th will be on Wednesday. You have to mark the calendar, and they are going to face off a team that is playing in StarTimes Uganda Premier League called the Express. Also on the 20th will be on Thursday, as when you will see a team in the names of Katida taking on Airtel Chitara, the champions of last season. I should say the defending champions. Airtel Chitara will be traveling away to the team of Katida. And then the same day is when you will see Karo Karunzi welcoming a side in the names of Darcy Busia Youngsters. And in this process, the home team will be Karo Karunzi. Karo Karunzi is a team from Kampala, and they play in Bet Power Fufa Big League. And also on 20th is when a very big cracker will be happening between Uganda Premier League affair. I am talking about Viper Sports Club, as they'll be staying at St. Mary's Titende to welcome the Ankole Lions. I am talking about the team of Mbarara City, the pride of Mbarara region there. And then you will see again between Lugazi Football Club, as they'll be traveling away to Calvary, and this game will be on 24th. 24th will be the other Monday. That's when you will see Calvary maintaining Midigo playing ground, welcoming that's Lugazi Football Club. And then Odamatako Central, a team that's playing in a regional league in Nile Zone will be traveling away to Kataka. Kataka is a team that comes from Eastern region, particularly from Mbale City, and they play their games, or as they host their games at Mbale Municipal Center together with a team that's now playing in StarTimes Uganda Premier League called Mbale Heroes. But this time, Odamatako will travel away a very long distance to play that's Kataka Football Club for you. Kataka is playing Bet Power FIFA Big League, and also the same day is when you will see Police hosting Soltino Bright Stars. Soltino Bright Stars will have to travel away to Kavumba Recreation Center to take on Darcy Police, and this game will again be on 24th. The same day is when you will see Bull Football Club welcoming Darcy Bugoigo Leopards, and this game will be on 24th, still on Monday. And then Mabira Trading Center Football Club will take on KCA, not KCA rather, will take on Darcy. Mabira Football Club will take on URA Football Club, and this game will also be on Darcy. That game will be on 25th, and it will be a Tuesday. The same day, that's when West Nilas, more especially close to Arua district, shall be traveling away, that's hosting a team in the names of Kasasiro Boys, that's KCA for you. Kluva Rainbow will be staying at Kluva Arena as they welcome a team called KCA, and this game, mark the calendar, will be on Tuesday, the other coming week after next week, and it will be on Tuesday. And the same day is when you will see Pakwati Young Stars also down at St. Mary's Omat in Pakwati welcoming UPDF Football Club. And still on 25th is when you will expect a game between Busenyi, the veterans, as they will welcome a side called Gaddafi Football Club, a team that's currently yearning for promotion back to StarTimes Uganda Premier League. I'm talking about the team of Gaddafi. And on 25th again is when you will see Blacks Power traveling away to Neck Football Club. Neck Football Club is a team that's currently playing in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. They are performing very well. They sit somewhere second on the log and only a point behind the log leader, that's Venoms. Meanwhile, Gaddafi rather, the team of Blacks Power, they are also doing very well. They are leading the table in Bet Power FIFA Big League. It's going to be a very interesting class between the two sides, because a team that is second on the log in StarTimes Uganda Premier League taking on a team that is sitting first on the log in Bet Power FIFA Big League. Expect a game that will be full of tension, and the last game will actually take place on 26th, and it will be the game between Maroons Football Club as they will be taking on Wakiso Football Club. It's actual StarTimes Uganda Premier League teams affair, because both sides, they are playing in Bet Power, not Bet Power rather, in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. Again, we'll keep on analyzing the game until the final day. Like I said the other time, the team of KCA traveling away to Kluva Rainbow. In terms of pedigree, history, everything is favoring the team of KCA. But there is that little advantage the team of Kluva Rainbow is possessing. First of all, the caliber of the pitch, the playing ground where they will be hosting this game. The team of KCA is used to thus hosting games in a very good playing ground. But for Kluva Rainbow, in case they are still going to use Kluva Hospital Arena, that means the playing ground may not be in position to favor the team of KCA 100%. That is the little advantage the team of Kluva Rainbow is possessing ahead of the team of KCA. In terms of that finance, yes, the team of Kluva Rainbow, it might be a golden opportunity for them to see that they have that massive gate collections, because we have seen most of the teams in Uganda that are playing in the top, in the lower leagues, not only in Uganda, all over the world. Most of the teams that are playing in the lower leagues, because every league in every country is ranked starting from the lowest tier up to the higher tier. So most of the teams that are playing in the lower leagues always suffer a lot when it comes to finance, and this is a golden opportunity for the team of Kluva Rainbow to see that they have enough gate collections that can be able to sustain the team in some of the games that are coming ahead of them. And also, in case they win the game, it's going to be a plus for them in terms of history, in terms of pedigree, and it will also spice up the different stakeholders we have in the team of Kluva Rainbow. It's going to be a tense game for the both sides, given the fact that these teams, they have done a lot to reach up to this stage, because these games, they started right away from the preliminary rounds, more especially for Kuruva Rainbow, now coming to the round of 32. Let's leave that one there. And also a game between Odamatako Central and the team of Kataka. Odamatako, yes, they will be traveling away to a very long distance away to Kataka. Both sides, they have also done a lot to see that they proceed up to the round of 32 of Stanbic Uganda Cup. And it's not the first of its kind. We are seeing these teams going at least to the knockout stages. Odamatako last season did it, and they were actually knocked out by a team called Soltino Bright Stars. And for Kataka, they have always been there into the competition. And now the question remains, who will be out of the competition at this round? Yes, we may say that Kataka is having a slight advantage over the team of Odamatako Central because of the pedigree of the league they are playing in, because they are playing in Bet Powerful for Big League. Their league is ahead of that one of Odamatako Central because they are playing in West Nile Regional League. But in terms of the performance on the pitch, I should say it's a 50-50 scenario, because you look at the team Odamatako knocked out in the round of 64. It was not all that a mere team or as a smaller team. It was a team in the names of Paida Black Angels, and this is a team, if you look at the table standing of Bet Power FIFA Big League right now, this is a team that's right now performing better than the team of Kataka. So I'm trying to do some few comparisons here and there to see which team, of course, is having an advantage over which one. In this case, I should say it's a 50-50 scenario, because Odamatako proceeding after beating PBA or as by the Black Angels was not an easy thing. And also for Kataka, playing in the second tier of Ugandan football, facing a regional league team, is also gives plus for them in terms of the advantage. So it's a 50-50 game between the two sides. What about for Express up against the team of Total? Total the other time knocked away Hill Sports Club in the round of 64. But Express, they have everything to win the game. Maybe it's because the pitch. By the way, I want to confirm to you one thing. Total Football Club is one of the organized teams we have in regional league. Not only in West Nile Regional League, I should say across the country, in the entire country. They are one of the organized sides we have in regional league. That's why their performance is very good. And also, you look at their pitch is very nice. In terms of the playing ground, I don't think the team of Express might face much difficulties. Maybe fan base may be on the side of Total because they are at home, given the fact that the weight of the team they are facing is going to be a golden opportunity for some of the masses in Yumbe to see that they take the opportunity to watch how these players of Express they are playing, because some of them might have been hearing about these players over radios, over TVs, but it's going to be a golden opportunity for some of the fans to see these players live. Let's leave that one there, and we now talk about that's Start Times Uganda Premier League, a team in the names of NEC Football Club. This is their second consecutive season to play in Start Times Uganda Premier League. They are performing very well. Last season they performed very well, and this season they still continue to pile pressure on some of the big match guys, as the big match bulls, as the big match face we have in the league. You talk about Vipers, you look at the log right now, they are only a point behind the team of Vipers because they are having 36 points. The team of Vipers is having something of around 37 points. KCCA, they sit somewhere down there. No, I'm not meaning that they're in the relegation zone, but you look at their performance, you look at how they have been performing in the previous seasons. KCCA has always been, in fact, in most cases, the battle has been amidst teams like KCA, Vipers, Express, and the team of Sports Club Villa. But right now, they are nowhere to be seen, not even in top 3. That is the team of KCA for you. Right now, the battle is between the team of NEC Football Club and Vipers. And them, getting closer to Vipers came after edging out that's KCA in a derby. Remember these two teams, that's NEC and the team of KCA, they do share so many things in common, more especially the playing ground. Yes, I should say the stadium. They all share the same stadium. When the other team is away, the FIFA has to plan to see that the other team is home. When the other one is home, the other one is away. In the game they played on Wednesday, it was NEC that was the home side. In the process, they went on to edge out the team of KCA by 1-0. And this one takes our trend to look at some of the results of the games that we have played in the last few days. Like I said earlier on, NEC edged out KCA by 1-0, as we saw Mbara City edging Mbale Heroes at home by 1-0. For UPDF, they had to settle for a barren draw with the team of Airtel Chitara, and Bull were away to Express. In the process, Bull managed to beat Express by 2-0, as Lugazi did edge out Police by 1-0, and Maroons had to share the spoils with the team of Soltino Bright Stars, which ended 1-1, and Vipers were 2-0 winners over the team of URA there. These are the results of the games that did transpire as far as StarTimes Uganda Premier League is concerned. Let's leave that one there, and after the game, I know the viewers outside there may want to know how the shape of the log, I mean the table standing, is looking like. Now on top of the log is the team of Vipers. As I had said earlier on, they are having 37 points. Second on the log is the team of NEC with 36 points. Third on the log is Express with 25 points, and it continues down up to the relegation zone. And look at the teams that are on red carpet. We have got Wakiso Giants at number 14th. At number 15th is the team of Soltino Bright Stars, and the last team on the log is the team of Mbale Heroes, and they are at number 6. And this one takes our trend to some of the games that are set to be played today in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. So many games are coming today, and looking at these games one by one, we having a game, we're having two games to be played today, with Villa in a very big encounter, giant class, as they will be taking on the team of Express. Express is actually traveling away to Wankulukuku to take on Sports Club Villa, as URA entertains Maroons in Kampala derby. In fact, both games are all derbies in Kampala. And then come tomorrow is when Bull will take on Mbale Heroes. The same day as Lugazi will be welcoming Wakiso Giants, and also KCA in a very big cracker will be hosting Vipers for you there. I mean, the biggest game right now in Uganda, the biggest game is actually the game between Vipers and the team of KCA, and in this case it will be Vipers traveling away to KCA, and this game will be on Saturday, and the kickoff time will be at 7 p.m. East African time, and it will be taking place at the stadium of KCA. KCA, they are coming for this game after losing narrowly into the hands of NEC. Meanwhile, for Vipers, they had a 2-0 win over the team of URA. For Airtel Chitara, they will welcome Soltino Bright Stars, as Mbara City welcomes UPDF, and the last two games will actually be on Monday. Let's leave will be on Sunday rather. Let's now leave these games there, and we now talk about some of the interesting stories here. I want us to talk about now the European night. When I talk European night, it talks about so many leagues. You talk about UEFA Champions League, you talk about UEFA Europa League, you mentioned that Europa Conference. I did say the last born of European football, and games were actually played yesterday in the first phase of the playoffs, and so many teams were in action, and it did end so well for some of the teams. Meanwhile, others, of course, lost miserable there. Fenerbahce in Turkey, they had a game up against Anderlecht that comes from Belgium, and they were 3-0 winners over Fenerbahce, and the return fixture will be bouncing back next week with the Ferencvaros. Ferencváros is actually a team that comes from Hungary. They had a 1-0 win over Victoria Plzeň, a team that comes from Czech Republic, with Real Sociedad edging out Midtjylland of Denmark by 2-1. For Ajax Amsterdam, they were away to Union Saint-Gilloise of Belgium. They won the game by 2-0. As Galatasaray were actually thrust aside by AZ Alkmaar by 4-1. Meanwhile, for Steaua Bucharest of Romania, they traveled away to PAOK Thessalonica of Greece. In the process, it ended by 2-1 in favor of Steaua Bucharest. Meanwhile, for Porto, they were at Estadio Dragao, and in the process, it ended 1-1 with the Estadio de Olímpico-based club AS Roma. And the last game, which was played yesterday, was between FC Twente of Netherlands up against Bodo Glimt of Norway, and it ended by 2-1 in favor of Bodo Glimt. And this one also takes us to some of the games that we have played in Europa Conference, whereby we had so many red cards, with the Shamrock Rovers of Ireland having a 1-0 win over Molde. Meanwhile, NK Celje played into a 2-2 draw with Apoel Nicosia of Cyprus. Meanwhile, for Jagiellonia, there were 3-1 winners over Bakatopola of Bakatopola of Czech Republic. Meanwhile, for Vikingar of Iceland, there were 2-1 winners over Panathinaikos of Greece. As for Heidenheim of Germany, there were 2-1 winners over Copenhagen of Denmark. Meanwhile, for Real Betis, they traveled away to Gent of Belgium, and they swept aside Gent by 3-0. And the last game was between Omonia Nicosia, as they played into a 1-1 draw with Paphos. Let's leave that story there, and we now talk about some of the stories that are coming in European football. I mean the top 5 European leagues. I talk about English Premier League, Spanish Primera Division, German Bundesliga, French Ligue 1, not forgetting about Italian Serie A. Looking at the fixtures to be played tonight in the Spanish Primera Division, Girona, actually a team that performed very well last season, will be having a date with Getafe. Meanwhile, in German Bundesliga, expect a cracker between RB Leipzig, as they will be traveling away to Augsburg, and this game will be at 10:30 p.m. and the game between Girona and Getafe will be at 11 p.m. East African time. Then in Italian Serie A, Bologna of Italy is set to have a game with Torino, and this game will be a quarter to the hour of 11 p.m. as French Ligue 1 brings for you a game between Brest up against Auxerre. The game between Auxerre and Brest will be at a quarter to the hour of 11 p.m. Brest, they will be looking forward to see that they bounce back from the humiliation they had into the hands of their neighbors, that's Paris Saint-Germain, in the midweek in UEFA Champions League. What about in English Premier League? English Premier League will also see one game on the card between the team of Chelsea and Brighton and Hove Albion. Chelsea is actually the away team, as they will be visiting Amex Stadium. Over the weekend, they had an encounter. It was in a different tournament. It was in FA Cup. Chelsea scored first, but Brighton and Hove Albion, the Seagulls, could not pave way for Chelsea to see that they actually proceed to the next round of the FA Cup. But now, it's in a different league, that's English Premier League. In the first league, it was Chelsea that won against the team of Brighton and Hove Albion, where we did see Cole Palmer scoring quadruple. I mean 4 goals against the team of Brighton and Hove Albion. And this time, everyone is waiting to see whether it will again go into the hands of the Blues or as Seagulls. But you look at the form guide the two teams have been possessing recently. It has not been going so well for the both sides. Matthias Chelsea the other time did pick a win, but the fact remains they have not been performing very well. The same thing has been happening with the team of Brighton and Hove Albion. They have also not been performing very well. Matches, the last 2 games, they have been so impressive, picking 1 win in domestic league, and then the other one coming in FA Cup. Ironically, it was also against the team they are facing tonight. But statistically, if you take a look at the game between Chelsea and the team of Brighton and Hove Albion, these teams, they have actually been scoring goals for fun. They have been scoring goals for fun. Sometimes you see the games ending more than 4 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals like that. in most cases, they have been scoring goals for fun. But Chelsea, they have been having that upper hand when it comes to playing against Brighton and Hove Albion, that's statistically. But it has been something very difficult for Chelsea to pick wins consecutively for several times against Brighton and Hove Albion. What I'm trying to say is it's a 50-50 scenario for both sides. But Chelsea is having upper hand. I should say Chelsea is having 60%, Brighton and Hove Albion is having 40%. Why am I saying this one? It is also very hard for a giant team to lose a game back-to-back into the hands of a smaller team as an average team. On top of that, Chelsea knows very well that last weekend they were beaten by Brighton and Hove Albion. This time they will come out collecting themselves together to see that this time they at least impress their fans to see that they win the game against Brighton and Hove Albion. But Brighton and Hove Albion, a stubborn side when it comes to playing against big opponents, but 60% goes into the hands of Chelsea, 40 comes into the hands of Brighton and Hove Albion, and I had already given you the reasons as to why I've drawn my statistics like that. Let's leave that one there, and we look at the games that are set to be played tomorrow in English Premier League. So these are the games set to be played tomorrow in English Premier League. The early kickoff will be between the team of Arsenal, will be between the team of Arsenal and Leicester City, and they will be traveling away to King Power to take on Leicester City. Arsenal right now, they are motivated. The team is performing very well based on the statistics they have been having in the recent games, winning games for fun. So recently they had a total thrashing of Manchester City, so playing against Leicester City, a team that's in the relegation zone. Obviously Arsenal is having an upper hand. Matches in the first league, we saw Leicester City giving hard times to the team of Arsenal, but we saw them winning the game at the end. But this time they have started seeing the chance that they can win the trophy after Liverpool slipping some points into the hands of Everton in a derby. That means right now the team of Liverpool is just a few points ahead of the Gunners. They will not afford to lose the game into the hands of Leicester City unless otherwise, but the Gunners, they have an upper hand in this particular encounter, unfortunately for them, but we'll be coming for that one in the next subtopic, or as in the next session there. And this game, I want to repeat it again, it will be an early kickoff game. 3:30 is when the Gunners will be traveling away to the Foxes. The other game will be between Ipswich Town, as they'll be traveling away to Aston Villa. Aston Villa also in the league, they have been having mixed results, unlike at the start of the season. But in the recent games they have been playing, they have been having mixed results, sometimes picking a draw, a defeat and a win. But for Ipswich Town, they love putting a star performance when it comes to playing against big opponents. I should say right now, Aston Villa is a big opponent, because you look at where they are sitting right now on the log, you look at their performance in the UEFA Champions League. This is a tough game for the both teams. Ipswich, given the fact that when it comes to playing against a team that is a little bit tough for the two teams, though Nottingham Forest on the log, they sit ahead of Fulham, but Fulham, when it comes to playing them at a private cottage, it's always very hard for a team to collect the maximum number of points from there. Nottingham Forest, they'll have to be very serious in this encounter as they visit Fulham at private cottage. The same time at 6 p.m. as when you will see a very big game between Newcastle as they'll be traveling away to Manchester City, and this is actually the game of that day. Newcastle, Manchester City, it has always been a very interesting game in terms of raining goals, in terms of the tension of the game, in terms of the beauty in the game. Sometimes 3-all draw, 2-all draws. So it's going to be an interesting game. Newcastle, of late, they have been having a very good run of the fixtures in terms of picking wins. Unlike in Manchester City, matches we saw them recollecting themselves after the first phase of the season, but recently we saw how they suffocated into the hands of the Gunners. So they are still trying to recollect themselves, and also in the midweek losing into the hands of the Los Blancos in UEFA Champions League. It's going to be hard for them, but we are waiting to see how things are going to transpire in this particular encounter. Manchester City is actually the home side, as the Magpies will be leaving St. James Park to travel away from their own stadium for Bournemouth. Bournemouth, a team that has surprised teams so many teams so much ever since last season. This season they have been doing a lot when it comes to playing against more special big opponents. Against Chelsea, they played a draw in the reverse fixture. The first league was a defeat on their side. They did beat Arsenal in the first league. Against Manchester City, they did beat Manchester City in the first league. Against Manchester United, the same thing happened. The same thing also happened with Liverpool with the draw. That means right now they are a very motivated side, but they are traveling away to a team that is occupying the last slot in the table. I'm talking about that's Southampton. For Brentford, Bees shall be taking a trip away to that's the Hammers, West Ham, and this game will be at 6 p.m. also. It's a derby, London derby between Brentford and West Ham. And the last game come tomorrow is also an interesting fixture between Crystal Palace up against Everton, and this is the late kickoff of the day, and it will be at 8:30 p.m. Let's now talk about some of the games to be played in the other leagues come tomorrow. Atalanta will be having a date with the Cagliari, and this game will be at 5 p.m. as Napoli travels away to Lazio Roma. Milan, meanwhile, will be staying at San Siro as they welcome Hellas Verona. And then in France League 1, Olympique de Marseille tomorrow will take on Saint-Etienne as Lens travels away to AS Monaco. And the last game tomorrow will be between Toulouse up against Paris Saint-Germain, and this game will be at 11 p.m. And then in German Bundesliga, Bochum is taking on Dortmund. Right now, things are not moving well for the Westfalen Stadion based club, that's Borussia Dortmund. You look at the table right now, they sit somewhere down at number 11, and this is a team that has been known of playing in UEFA Champions League. Now the question remains, can they be in position to bounce back at the end of the season to occupy the slot of UEFA Champions League? Is actually what everyone is waiting to see. On top of the log is now Bayern Munich with 54 points. Bayer Leverkusen is at number 2 with 46 points. That means the points gap between Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen is actually about 8 points. It seems the Bavarians are running away with the gong. Eintracht Frankfurt sits at number 3 with 39 points, and top 4 is actually completed by a team in the names of RB Leipzig there. As I said earlier on, Dortmund has dropped at number 11 with 29 points. They are going backwards to the relegation zone. Now finalizing with the fixtures to be played tomorrow in German Bundesliga. Bochum will take on Dortmund. I did mention this one. For Freiburg, they will be traveling away to St. Pauli as Borussia Mönchengladbach travels away to Union Berlin, with Stuttgart welcoming Wolfsburg. And the last game come tomorrow will be top of the table class between Bayern Munich and the team of Bayer Leverkusen. Number 1 taking on number 2. This is going to be an interesting game. In case Bayern wins this one, the points gap is going to be by 11 points. And if Bayer Leverkusen wins against that Bayern Munich, they will squeeze the Bavarians to 5 points in terms of the difference of the points gap. So we are waiting to see how things will happen. That's tomorrow. And then tomorrow in Spanish Primera Division, Leganes will welcome Deportivo Alaves as Real Madrid has a tough encounter up against Osasuna, and their game will be at 6 p.m. and Celta Vigo travels away to Wanda Metropolitan to take on Atletico Madrid, and Villarreal will take on Mestalla-based club, that's Valencia. And then on Sunday, running through some of the fixtures to be played on Sunday in Spanish Primera Division, Espanyol will welcome Athletic Bilbao as Real Valladolid welcomes Sevilla, with Las Palmas traveling away to Real Mallorca as Real Betis welcomes Real Sociedad. Then in German Bundesliga, expect 3 games on the card, with Hoffenheim traveling away to Werder Bremen. As for Eintracht Frankfurt, they will have to see that they maintain their position. as they welcome Holstel Kiel with Mainz in the last game on Sunday, traveling away to Heidenheim. Then in Italian Serie A, Fiorentina will welcome Como of Fabregas as Lecce travels away to Monza. Udinese is set to have a date with Empoli, with AS Roma traveling away to Parma. Then Juventus having a very big game up against Inter Milan there. And then in France League 1, Montpellier will welcome Olympique Lyon as Nice travels away to Le Havre. Lens welcomes Strasbourg. Encas travels away to Reims, with Rennes having a date up against Lille. And then in English Premier League, Wolves will travel away to Liverpool. And then Manchester United will have a date with Spurs. For Manchester United, they will travel away to Spurs. A flashback here. If it was the game between Manchester United and Spurs in the first leg, that was the game where we saw Bruno Fernandes getting a red card. Now they are traveling away to Spurs. Right now, both sides are off form. Spurs is not doing well. Manchester United is not doing well. And Manchester United is just slightly ahead of the team of Spurs. Now it's going to be a very big encounter. If Spurs wins this one, that means they will move away to Manchester. They will move ahead of Manchester United. If Manchester United wins against Spurs and teams that are ahead of Manchester United may be losers, it means it will give that a golden chance for Manchester United to change their position from number 14th and move somewhere on top. So it's going to be a my time is running down. I will analyze some of these games tomorrow, with Wolves traveling away to Liverpool. So let's leave that one there. Before I leave the studios, we need to talk about some of the trending breaking stories here and there. As I had said earlier on, if you can remember, I did give you highlights about some of the injuries here and there. Unfortunately and ironically, it's happened with some of the teams that are trying to compete to see that they finish in top 4. Others are fighting for the lock. And right now, Arsenal, they have confirmed that Kai Havertz is going to be out for the rest of the season because of a hamstring injury. That's Kai Havertz for you. That means it's going to undergo. People call it in layman's language operation. That is what is happening right now at the camp of Arsenal. He actually got the injury when Arsenal was away to Dubai for their training, and has left a gap in the team of Arsenal. Now the question is, who is that player? Who is that striker who may come and fill the gap that has been left by the player, the striker, that's Havertz? Matthias, Arsenal fans, in most cases, they have been criticizing him. He has been helping the team in some of the crucial games, and so far he has scored 9 goals for the team of Arsenal and is going to be out injured. On top of that, his counterpart, Gabriel Jesus, is also out injured. Now he's that striker Arsenal is going to rely on. Yes, you may build your team, you may start to build your attack right from the defense line, whereby any team can score for you. But there are some stubborn teams. There are some of the teams whereby you really need a natural striker, more especially when it comes to playing against some of the big opponents. I'm talking about giants. You really need a typical striker. So both players are out injured. So we are waiting to see how Arsenal is going to cope up in the absence of Kai Havertz and also Gabriel Jesus. Tomorrow I will talk more about this story because my time is running out, and it's going to be out for the rest of the season, and he will continue his rehabilitation over the pre-season, that's 2025/2026. And also a bad news for Manchester City fans, as Manuel Akanji is also going to be out injured for some weeks. That means he's going to miss the game. He's going to miss a very big game come this weekend against Liverpool. And again, the reverse fixture in the second phase of the knockout stages of the UEFA Champions League against Real Madrid come next week. Manuel Akanji is also going to be out injured. So we are waiting to see how long he's going to be out. But the fact remains, he is going to be out for some weeks for the team of Manchester City there. Then for the team of Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson has also been ruled out for a number of weeks for the team of Chelsea, and he has been one of the goal scorers. he has been scoring some of the crucial goals for the team of Chelsea. But for Chelsea, they have so many strikers. Maguire can come in. But Maguire is a new player, has been on the bench. You can't compare him with Nicholas Jackson, and he's going to be out for a number of weeks for the team of Chelsea. And for Chelsea also, some Chelsea fans may smile for this, and it may not sound so well for some of the fans of Chelsea. Their head coach has confirmed that Jansen is going to be the #1 custodian for the team of Chelsea, because number of errors has been coming on the side of their #1 goalkeeper Roberto Sanchez. That's why the head coach Maresca has clearly come up saying that in the upcoming games, Jansen is going to be his #1 custodian. So we are waiting to see how things are going to transpire with the help of Das Jansen. He started the game against West Ham. He had an impressive performance, and Roberto Sanchez was brought in against the game with Brighton and Hove Albion in FA Cup. He did so many mistakes, and again Maresca is saying, no, you go back, and I'm continuing with my goalkeeper, Das Jansen. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of Whistle Time. It has been me, Benson Pastore, in front of the lens. Before I leave the studios, big ups to the producer and also the camera, my camera persons. You talk about Our Lady, you talk about Das Bonires, not forgetting about the boy and also the zone, who are all playing vital roles to see that Western Television stands. Up next, of course, is the movie program. After the movie, as usual, Chukuchuku will be bouncing back, and after Chukuchuku, we shall finalize the day with what is happening in the world of news. After that, movies mixed with the music will continue till tomorrow. I am out of the studio. Have the best of your moments till tomorrow.